Hey there, what's up guys? My name is Useless Mango and welcome back to another Tower Unite video here on my channel, where I've got yet another hole-in-one guide to share with you guys, and this time we're going to be taking a look at how to get a hole-in-one on all of the levels that support it on the Minigolf map Garden. So as always, if you do go on to enjoy the video or you find it interesting or helpful at all, then do be sure to drop the video a like rating, and if you are new around here and you're finding these hole-in-one guides helpful, or you just generally like my content, then why not hit that subscribe button? It only takes 2 seconds and it means that you won't miss any of my future uploads. Now with that said, let's get it started. Okay, so all of these methods have been tested on the latest patch available as of making this video, which is version 0.1.2.2. The version number in the top left may not reflect this at times, but trust me, all of these methods have been tested and I can confirm that they work. That said, they may not work for you first time, but after a bit of practice or a few attempts, you'll be sure to get it right. So out of this entire map, there are a total of 11 holes that you can score a hole-in-one on, but before you start getting too excited, I have only been able to find a working method that works game after game on only 7 out of these 11 holes. But I'll go over the holes that there is no method for towards the end. But for now, the first hole that you can score a hole-in-one on is hole 5, Storm the Castle. So for this hole it's pretty simple, you just need to aim straight ahead and line your power up with the S in the word stroke. If lined up correctly, you should find that the ball makes it up the slope, over the first ditch and into the second exit, which is needed for you to score the hole-in-one. Moving on to the next hole that you can score a hole-in-one on is hole 7, Whirlybird. Now this one is very annoying because it has a reputation to throw you out of bounds, but this method will work if the level is in a good mood. So what you need to do is align your power bar up with the O in the word stroke and wait for the spinning obstacle to be in a position that will allow you to get through it by the time that your ball reaches it. Now the main reason for this hole sometimes making you go out of bounds is obviously because of the amount of power that you're using. And you could try using less power so there's less chance of you being thrown out of bounds, however I found that it's actually a bit easier to use more power so that you can get through the spinning obstacle and up the slope than it is to use less power, simply because sometimes you can stop halfway or you have to shoot a bit earlier to make it through the spinning obstacle. From the testing I've done, it seems a bit easier to use more power to get through the obstacle, sail over the hole, bounce off the wall to score the hole-in-one than any other method. But you guys are welcome to do your own testing, and if you find a better method than mine, then do be sure to let us all know in the comment section down below. But anyways, the next hole that you can score a hole-in-one on is hole number 11, Taiko Mix-Up. Now this level can be a little temperamental, but I've been using this method for a long time now and it's worked a lot more than it has failed. So what you want to do is line your power up so that it's in between the R in par and the number 3. After this, I recommend zooming out as far as possible because you're going to need to see the tube that's moving between the 3 different positions. Once you've got this sorted, you're going to want to aim straight ahead and wait for the tube to move into the center position. And as soon as it lands in the middle position, you're going to want to take your shot, and what you should find is that the ball goes down the funnel into the tube and comes out when the tube returns back to the middle position again. After that, you'll just sail on to get your hole-in-one. Alright, so the next hole that you can score a hole-in-one on is hole 12, Around the Bend. Now this one is more difficult than it would seem, because you need to use more or less full power to get up and around the bend. But if you just aim straight forwards, then you're not going to be able to get to the correct point. So what I found works is if you use full power and aim to clip the part of the wall where it just begins to bend around. This should make you bounce upwards and across, which will slow you down enough to make it into the correct ditch. But while it is possible to use this technique to get into the correct position to begin with, sometimes the ball will completely miss the hole or even bounce over it. As you can see from the gameplay, I was pretty lucky to get this hole-in-one as it almost bounced over the hole. But anyways, the next hole that you can score a hole-in-one on is hole 13, Up and Over. So for this hole it's pretty simple, but it requires a few attempts to get it right. But you want to use full power and aim your mouse towards where the shadow on the back wall first begins. What you should find is that the ball goes a little to the right and bounces into the segment that you need to score the hole-in-one. Now onto the next hole that you can score a hole-in-one on, and it's hole 14, Speed Bump. This one is pretty easy. All you have to do is aim straight forward and line your power up so that it's in between the P and the A in the word par. Once this is done, take your shot and you should sail straight into the hole. And last but certainly not least, the final hole that you can score a hole-in-one on is hole 16, Love Tap. This one is again very easy as long as you don't end up bouncing over the hole at the end, but all you need to do is aim straight forwards and use full power. Take your shot and the rest should take care of itself. But now onto the 4 levels where you can get a hole-in-one, but there's no particular trick for getting it. In most cases, it's just pure luck. But the first one like this is hole 9, Funnel Your Thoughts. This level requires you to get into the funnel part of the level and then get dropped down onto a slope that can either send you left, right or forwards. And I've not been able to find a method at all that will allow you to get put forwards every single time. The next hole that it's possible to score a hole-in-one on is hole 15, Split Decision. The aim with this hole is to bounce off of the first drum, roll around the corner, hit the second drum when it's in the middle position, and bounce into the correct segment. I've not been able to find a trick with timings to get this to work every time, because it all depends on where you go after you bounce off of the wall. But anyways, the next hole that you can get a hole-in-one on is hole 17, Plinko. Now for this hole, there is no trick at all, it is just pure luck. Now me and a friend were lucky enough to get it at the same time, and it's in the footage that you're seeing now, but it was nothing else but pure luck. And the same applies to the last hole, which is hole 18, Dragon's Tail. The aim for this one is to make it down this winding slope and then over the ridge at the end and then follow it down to the hole. While it is possible to get a hole-in-one, there is no trick for doing it as the slope alters where you end up going. But as always with any of these holes that I haven't found a method for, you're more than welcome to try it for yourselves, and be sure to let us all know in the comment section down below if you manage to find a method for any of these, what I call luck levels, to help you score a hole-in-one game after game. Okay, so that's going to wrap up this hole-in-one guide. If you did go on to enjoy the video or you found it interesting or helpful at all, then do be sure to drop the video a like rating. And if you are new around here and you're finding these hole-in-one guides helpful, or you just genuinely like my content, then why not hit that subscribe button? It only takes 2 seconds and it means that you won't miss any of my future uploads. Now with that said, stay awesome and thanks for watching.